Hi guys, so today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Nintendo Switch. Recently we had Bethesda revealing that they would be making Nintendo Switch ports for Wolfenstein the new Colossus and Doom. And this has had a lot of people once again discussing the practicality of owning a Switch. You know, when the Switch was first announced, there was a very divided reaction to it. You had a lot of people who were very excited for the console, and then you had a load of people who were very negative about it, who felt that it wasn't going to sell very well. Now, one of the reasons people felt very negatively about the Switch when it was first announced and then released was that it was being released with hardware that did not measure up to that of the base PS4 and Xbox One. A lot of people felt that this fact on its own could result in a situation in the future where third-party developers and publishers would choose not to release their content on the Switch simply because it would mean more work to make these ports compatible and for very limited reward. The reason that third-party support is an idea that comes up pretty often when people are discussing Nintendo consoles is that a lot of people feel that it was the lack of third-party support on the Wii U that the console failed. It is important to note though that the Switch is not the Wii U. The Switch has had an extremely strong reception from the public since it was first released and has sold over 4.7 million units in its first 6 months of availability. At this time, some analysts are even predicting that the console may go on to become one of the highest selling consoles of all time. And contrary to what was first predicted by some, the Switch does not really seem to be suffering from a lack of third-party support at this point. There are a lot of publishers and developers who have come out and said, we are going to make Switch versions of our games. Currently, it seems that there will be a Switch version of Noire, Doom, Wolfenstein the new Colossus, and FIFA 18, among many others, and this is to go along with the already strong set of upcoming and available exclusives on the console. The whole situation has raised a rather interesting question regarding the Switch. Now, as previously suggested, there were a lot of people who were very negative about the Switch because they felt it wasn't going to receive third-party support. Now that we know that big publishers are willing to provide the console with third-party support, are these people willing to buy the console? The short answer to this very general question is yes. There will definitely be people who choose to buy the Switch because now some of their favorite games are being made mobile. But the extent to which this will actually affect the opinion of the general public is something of great debate. The real question here is actually how much do you care about mobile gaming? Now, a couple of months ago when the Switch was first revealed, there was a piece by Forbes that suggested that the Nintendo Switch does not really intend to compete with the PS4 or Xbox One, but rather the iPad. As previously suggested, the Switch isn't as powerful as the PS4 or Xbox One, so if you intend on playing a particular multi-platform title at home, you probably won't choose to play it on the Switch if you own multiple devices. However, if you're constantly on the move and want to play one of these multi-platform titles, but aren't at home enough to do so, the Switch might actually come in handy for you, because its nature is very similar to that of a tablet. You just pack it in your bag, you take it out, and you play the game. Regardless of what you would like to believe about either PC or console gaming, the most popular device used to play video games in this current day and age is that of a mobile phone or tablet. And it seems that Nintendo is trying to cut away at this market with the Switch and its greater offerings. You know, whereas tablets and mobile phones often only seem to offer games of a very similar nature or a scope below what is currently seen on consoles and PC at this point, the Switch offers gamers the possibility of playing such games anywhere they want to. Now imagine instead of playing Clash of Clans while waiting on the train to go to work, you had the opportunity to play something like Noire to pass the time. It's difficult to believe that there wouldn't be at least one person very excited about this particular opportunity. I'm sure that there's a load of people who will buy the Nintendo Switch for this very reason. I don't think, however, that this idea will win over everybody. The simple reason for this is that not everybody believes that all games are meant to go mobile. There is an argument to be made that some titles just aren't suited to situations in everyday life where people find themselves turning towards their mobile devices to play games in order to kill time. Games such as Clash of Clans, Boom Beach, and The Simpsons Tapped Out are very popular because they only require a few minutes of your time over long periods. This makes them ideal for a situation where you only have a minute or two before getting back to whatever you have to do. This can't really be said for all PC and console games. Then there is also the argument regarding whether people would want to buy a multi-platform game solely for mobile purposes. Would you want to buy a game like Wolfenstein for the Switch only and then skip out on perhaps a better version? Obviously you can buy it twice, but would you be happy buying the game twice as well? The answer to this question will most likely not only vary from person to person, but from game to game as well. So getting to the crux of the matter, is the Nintendo Switch's mobile capabilities appealing to you? Personally, the idea of taking a game like Wolfenstein, the new Colossus, or Doom on the road with you is a very exciting idea. I really do think that. However, I am skeptical about this whole idea, not because I think that the Switch is a bad console or that the graphics will be bad on these games or whatever, but rather that when I do buy games for portable devices, I usually don't land up playing them for very long, even if I do have time to play them. You know, there was a time where I traveled a lot on planes and buses, and I bought games such as Borderlands 2 and Injustice Gods Among Us for my PS Vita, but I never really found myself playing them at all other than the few odd hours after purchase. I do own a Nintendo Switch, but I won't say that the mobile capabilities of the console had the biggest role in me deciding to buy it. I, however, may be in the minority, and most people may actually be keen on buying the Switch in order to play games like Skyrim on a plane, but who knows? What I do know is that I'm happy that the Switch is doing well, and do hope that it will continue to do well in the future. I do want to get a general consensus of this overall idea though, so I'm going to ask you the question, do you own a Switch? If you do, did the console's mobile capabilities have anything to do with your decision to buy the console? If you don't own one, does the notion of games such as Wolfenstein the New Colossus being available on the device make you more interested in perhaps purchasing it? Please share in the comments down below, and if you liked this video, please remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.